G'day guys, Andy Thomas here from Wolf on the Run. I'm going to have a chat with you today about power supply on the bike. 12 volt options. Obviously you know the bike's 12 volt, but most of your USBs down to 5 volt and transferred in load down and ways to do it, and options on the bike to actually charge things while you're going along. Facilities to have power off your bike while you pull up, run things that you need. As you know, we all carry a load of shit electronic wires today. Let's go through with some of the stuff that we do actually carry. Alright guys, this is just a few of the things that you may carry, may not carry, may not need to bother carrying. Depends what you want to do, where you want to go. As I say again, it's all up to the individual. And you know, comments like, oh, it's way too much stuff, I don't appreciate it. So you know, it doesn't really matter, does it? It's just a video, it's just conversation. Tablet, which I use on the dashboard, my maps, telephone, cameras for the helmet. This is a remote control that works the camera, which I have on the handlebars, a little GoPro, a couple of battery packs, a couple of Bluetooth things. I have a speaker, pair of Bluetooth headphones, the UHF radio, voice recorder if I'm actually trying to remember stuff. I record it down there. I've got a rechargeable phone, I do a rechargeable lamp. I do have a headlamp as well. We've got a little drone. Some of the guys have got some nice drones. I've seen you with the Mavic Pros, Mavic Pro 2. Mine's just a cheap little Hudson. It works. Not as good as obviously the other ones, but it does. And then you got my battery booster pack that I carry with me in one of the panniers in case I've got a flat battery. But yeah, obviously keeping these charged is a drama, and this is how I've overcome it. All right, guys. So this is my cockpit of the bike, shall we say? So this here requires charging, but as you can see at the moment, battery's good. Sometimes, like you say, this is my tyre pressure gauge, so yeah, sometimes I need charging. But this is where I keep my tablet. As you can see, there's a charging point that I put inside there. Charge it up. That's just a little waterproof box that I made. My telephone there goes on there. This one I keep my UHF radio on. The battery on the UHF radio is fantastic. It hardly needs charging up on a trip. But yeah, I do plug it in sometimes. This charger here, let me show you. So you can see in there, there's a little, it has got a waterproof cover that I've just took off, but there's a little lever there. If I pull that down, you see it's lit up. Now that's got power now. I can plug the USB into there and plug it into my phone underneath with a little charging lead. I went for this. I mean, my phone is wireless charging, but I went for this because the wireless charger was power all the time, and I didn't want that. At least with this one, I can switch off the power when I'm not requiring it, when my phone doesn't need charging. So that charges my phone on there. The other one, the bog standard one, is a 12 volt plug, which you can buy these adapters that go into them, and I've got a double one there that plugs into there, and again that comes on with ignition only. It's not permanently wired, so again, if something's left plugged in and you turn the bike off, it's not going to drain batteries. This is just a little rubber grommet that I made. I just put some silicone over the top of a wine bottle, and I just plug that over the top of there, and that keeps water and dirt and dust and everything out of that 12 volt. I did have some issues. Let me take it out and see if you can see. Inside there you can see a little bit of rust. So I was using it without a cover on, and torrential rain, it got water inside it. So as I say, I made this little stupid little rubber grommet thing, just black silicone over a wine bottle, and then that just plugs over the top of that to keep it dry. So yeah, the one lead of this goes up to my tablet charge. The other one comes along here and goes into my tank bag. So that's got a little adapter that I'll show you. So this is the adapter. This is a 4-way adapter. It's like a booster pack. So it needs power to it to run that, as you can see in there. So that will plug into there, in my tank bag. So as I say, these little things, they'll plug into your battery packs and then charge your battery packs. When you pull over, do your camping, you could take off your headset from your helmet or your camera that you've had on your helmet, and you can charge them up off your battery packs during that day. Off you go on your travels next day, all your cameras and your headset is charged, and then you recharge your battery pack again. So you're on for the next day, all set up. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you under my seat, and again, please don't comment on the spaghetti. I'm happy with it. You do your own thing. This is just an educational video. I do it for fun. I don't need all the criticism and shit. But I put me I think it's a 10-way. Let me just look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 10-way fuse board under there. Some of you guys have seen this before. Let me just zoom in. There you go. So each thing is wired individually. I've got my snail horns on the front, so everything's got its own, and relays. Everything's on a separate relay. I've got one power lead that comes from the battery, from the main battery. The Anderson plug you've seen before. All my neutrals are connected in a box there. That's why it looks like spaghetti. Anderson plug. Again, booster pack. That plugs straight into there, and if my battery's flat, I'm away. Rather than messing around taking your battery off. So on here I've got this, which you've just seen is all rolled up under there. So this is just an extension wire with a 12-volt waterproof plug on. I'll show you why I did this first, and then I'll show you the adapter that I made for it. Alright guys, so that wire goes to this, which is my rear top box. Just put it on for you. There you go, and let me show you inside. As you can see, it's got a female plug on there, USB, and I've got a double adapter so that it charges the drone itself, and it also charges the drone controller. So when I get get it out, find a little bit of somewhere I want to throw the drone up, I know it's going to be charged. And yeah, so I'll leave that plugged in. As I say, I'll show you around there. So under there, you'll see there's the plug. So that plugs into there. Which way? That way. That's a waterproof connection. This obviously gets wired and tied around there, So that plugs into there. So that's actually direct to the battery, and it's on its own fuse. So that, as I say, is charging inside while I'm driving. So that's just another option in there. And now the other thing, so if I need to, obviously the plug there, I've made this. Inside there you'll see a 12-volt socket. As I showed you the one on the front of the bike, it's connected to the ignition, and it's a very, very small wire. It's not, I don't think it can take the heat of something strong. So if you've got like an airbed and you've run out of wind and you've got a little compressor, you can plug your compressor. So on the other end there, look, sorry, it's got the same socket. So I can plug that onto there, like so. And then in there, and get my compressor out. So if I've got a flat tyre, I've got to change the tyre. My little compressor, little lead, plug straight into there, and I've got instant 12-volt for my compressor, and that, as I say, is wired directly to the battery. So it doesn't actually go through the main 30-amp fuse of the bike. It's independent of the bike completely, whereas the one on the front, if you put too much power into that, you can pop the main fuse on your bike, and if you haven't got a 30 amp spare with you, you've done it twice, you're going nowhere, you're calling someone to come and get you. Whereas if I blow the fuse on this, it just goes back to that PC board there that I showed you, that little fuse board, and replace it on there, replace it on there. If it don't work, I can still ride on because the bike will still work. But yeah, that's another little option of charging or power outlet to there. There's other different types of plugs and attachments that you can get, your banana plugs and God knows what. But that's the one I opted for. It's a little 12 volt waterproof plug. Going back to the little fuse board in there, one of those wires also runs my heated grips, and again straight to the battery through its own fuse, through its own relay, not connected to the bike at all, only to the battery. The other thing that I used to have, you can get these, you've probably seen these everywhere guys, they're just a little unit you can buy. You can plug it in, you can wire it up, you can do whatever you want. It's got a little waterproof cover. Let me see, I've took the handlebar bracket off it, but it fastens to the handlebars. So again, you've got your 12 volt power there, and you've got a USB, and the best thing about it, get one with a switch, so you can actually turn it off. So with these USB ones, it leaves that little light on, and obviously that's draining power. Might not make a difference overnight, or 2 nights, or 3 nights, but it will make a difference, and you'll come out and your bike will just click, and you're going nowhere. So get something that you can always turn off, so you're not taking any power out of the bike battery at all if you can help it. So if the bike's just sitting there, all you've got flashing is your hiss, which is your on this one anyway, your under ignition, saying that it's in safety mode. That's all. There's nothing else running on the bike whatsoever. As I say, this little thing here, that's battery, that's not connected, that charges up itself. The telephone one, as I showed you, that is wired direct again to that box, again back to the battery, but as I showed you, it switches off, so there's no power being used. So there we go guys, that's pretty much my setup on having power to where I need it, when I need it, how I need it, just to give you some ideas. There we go guys, fantastic. As I say, this is my opinion, this is what I want on my bike. It's entirely up to you what you do on your bike. There's a lot of negative comments on some of the videos saying, oh, you've got this and you've got that, I wouldn't do that, I wouldn't do this. That's fine, that's fine. But this is my opinion, this is how I do it. You're entitled to your opinion, but for me, it's fantastic.